Lesson 13. A meaningless world engenders fear. Today's idea is really another form of the preceding one, except that it is more specific as to the emotion aroused. Actually, a meaningless world is impossible. Nothing without meaning exists. However, it does not follow that you will not think you perceive something that has no meaning. On the contrary, you will be particularly likely to think you do perceive it. Recognition of meaninglessness arouses intense anxiety in all the separated ones. It represents a situation in which God and the ego challenge each other as to whose meaning is to be written in the empty space that meaninglessness provides. The ego rushes in frantically to establish its own ideas there, fearful that the void may otherwise be used to demonstrate its own impotence and unreality. And on this alone, it is correct. It is essential, therefore, that you learn to recognize the meaningless and accept it without fear. If you are fearful, it is certain that you will endow the world with attributes that it does not possess and crowd it with images that do not exist. To the ego, illusions are safety devices, as they must also be to you who equate yourself with the ego. The exercises for today, which should be done about 3 or 4 times for not more than a minute or so at most each time, are to be practiced in a somewhat different way from the preceding ones. With eyes closed, repeat today's idea to yourself. Then open your eyes and look about you slowly, saying, I am looking at a meaningless world. Repeat this statement to yourself as you look about. Then close your eyes and conclude with, a meaningless world engenders fear because I think I am in competition with God. Well, you may find it difficult to avoid resistance in one form or another to this concluding statement. Whatever form such resistance may take, remind yourself that you are really afraid of such a thought because of the vengeance of the enemy. You are not expected to believe the statement at this point and will probably dismiss it as preposterous. Note carefully, however, any signs of overt or covert fear which it may arouse. This is our first attempt at stating an explicit cause and effect relationship of a kind which you are very inexperienced in recognizing. Do not dwell on the concluding statement and try not even to think of it except during the practice periods. That will suffice at present. A meaningless world engenders fear. What does engender mean? The definition is generates or causes, but we're learning here that our thoughts are the cause of how we perceive the world. So let's just say a meaningless world takes on fear. If it's meaningless, it has no meaning, neither positive or negative, neither loving or fearful. It's nothing of itself. It's neutral. And as we've learned, we bring the meaning to any and everything by the thoughts that we think, by our perception of it. So we either write onto any and everything a meaning of love or the meaning of fear. So it takes on whatever meaning we give it. And naturally in the world, the thought system is fear. So once again, when we say meaningless, what does that bring up within you? Because it's a blank slate, a clean slate. There's nothing, no positive, no negative, it's just clean, meaningless, nothing. That can bring up the emotion of fear because we want to know what things mean. We want to understand. We want to feel safe and secure and certain. And without doubt, we need that North Star. We need a cornerstone of truth, a compass to be able to compare everything else against to know what's real and what isn't. So if it's a blank slate, it can feel terrifying. But the miracle worker as it says in this lesson, learns to understand and embrace meaninglessness and see the world for what it is, because the miracle worker understands that if there's no meaning written upon it, you can bring meaning and opportunity and possibility and transformation and love to that world, to anything and everything within it. So the miracle worker gets that this is actually a great opportunity and embraces the possibility within it to create, to extend love. There's some people who see the Course in Miracles as a negative message or something along those lines. I do not read it at all in that way. I feel like, whew, what a relief. I finally do have that cornerstone of truth and understanding that I can live my life as I have a guide. I have an internal teacher and a constant knowing of how to align myself. And I think that infinite possibility, which is inherent in meaninglessness, is the definition of hope. So I see it with a totally different set of eyes. It's very hopeful. Ultimate opportunities. That is completely liberating and completely empowering. That is what I see the Course and the workbook helping us to learn, the internal teacher helping us to understand more and more with each lesson that goes by. So the miracle worker doesn't fear the meaningless. The miracle worker doesn't fear the unknown. The miracle worker understands what's going on, and that's just the nature of the world. And that beyond this world, there is a world that has reality, that has meaning. The miracle worker understands who they are and why they're here. They understand, they get that they are here to transform the meaninglessness into meaningful by extending love. They embrace the meaningless and see it as an opportunity to create, to use the creation, the creative power of their mind to extend love, to write love on anything that has not been claimed for love, for God in the world. The miracle worker is a mystic because the miracle worker understands infinite patience. The miracle worker understands divine timing. The miracle worker understands that love is the remedy. The miracle worker understands how all of this works and can wait and wait without fear and have patience and know that everything is working out. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. Infinite patience produces immediate results. Standing in love firmly and resolutely with conviction to be able to transform, be the presence of the alternative powerfully, be the presence of love. The miracle worker is unshaken by meaninglessness. The miracle worker turns the meaningless into meaningful, transforms it with their love. Love is what gives meaning to anything. It is the only thing that's real and the only thing that can have any meaning. So the miracle worker writes love upon the world. So you're kind of a big deal. You're pretty important. You are God's gift in the world. And it says that your part is essential to God's plan for salvation. Salvation being saved from the insane thinking that we have that distracts us and keeps us stuck in a chaotic, meaningless, fear-based experience. This is what this training is all about. For you to understand your power and your responsibility and how it transforms your life but also transforms the world. By bringing love to all things, the miracle worker transforms fear into love, chaos into peace. And by doing so, they allow the holiness that is within the potential, the possibility within all things. Right now it's neutral, but you can bring the holiness, you can bring the love, you can bring the perfection and allow that to unfold and be written upon all things, all people, all situations, thus creating a world filled with real, eternal, lasting, loving meaning. That's your job. I'll see you tomorrow.